This video is sponsored by Skillshare. Hey guys, it's Kay. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have some plant chores to do because it is the beginning of spring and my plants have woken up from their winter slumber and it's time for me to take care of them, repot some, clean my plant area, prune some. So I want to take you guys on the journey with me. And maybe this will be a relaxing vlog for you guys to see because I know there's a lot going on in the world right now and everyone needs a little bit of de-stressing. So de-stress with me, let's do some plant chores. I've got a couple plants to repot. You should repot them yearly or when you feel like they need it. Indications that they need it are like they're not staying hydrated when you water them. They like droop and then they're like days after, or they don't seem to be growing as well anymore, or they just are popping out of the bottom of their pots. A lot of the times you can see roots coming out of the bottom of the pots. That's an indication that you might need to repot. Keep in mind that in the winter months, plants don't grow that much, so you might not need to do that in the winter. I usually like to wait until springtime when my plants are starting to grow again to do a lot of the repotting. If you have to repot in winter, go ahead, definitely do that. But I usually like to wait till spring. So I've got a few plants that are popping out and ready to go. Let's find some well, first I'm gonna clean my plant area and sort of make sure that that stuff's nice and clean. So, cause it's getting a little nasty. I've got all my supplies on the floor here ready to go. I'm gonna just like rock on the floor here. This is my what is that? It's like my repotting mat. I'm going to show you what it looks like fully unpacked, but it's great for small spaces because you can store it completely flat like that and it doesn't take up a lot of space like a potting table or a planting table or whatever that's called. But I've got these two shelves here from IKEA. I think these are I don't know how to pronounce these, like the Vio shelf or something. I don't remember what they're called, but I'll put them on the screen. They were super affordable. I think they were like 50 bucks each, but I've put the plants on here just to display them, and there are two west-facing windows here, so they get lots of light. There's plants on there, there's plants in every windowsill, and there are plants on the console. There are 3 plants on the console, so I'm thinking about like repotting the Monstera, not sure yet. I think I'm definitely going to repot this Calathea Freddie. It's been actually a really good grower, but I think it could stand for an actual real pot. I think I might try to repot my Calathea aurifolia and see how it does. It hasn't been doing well since I brought it home, so we'll try and save it. But first we have to get to the cleaning because I don't know if you can see, but the surface of these shelves has all kinds of like dirt and stuff on them, so we're just gonna tidy that up a bit.
I never felt tomorrow closing in this fast. Oh, I guess time's in a rush. Leaves are falling down, but at least they grow back while I'm on a one-way track. Now I know what it means to grow. It is just enough to get by. Yeah, it is just enough to get by.
Hi. Okay, for this Freddie, I think I have to go up like one size. I've got some wine corks in there because it was a cash pill before, which means it didn't have a plant growing directly in it. It just had a pot in it, kind of like this guy. I think under normal circumstances I would plant this in here, but this is terracotta, and these guys, these Calathea, like to stay a little bit moist. So terracotta will leach some of the water out faster than, say, like ceramic or plastic, and I want to make it a little happier. So this is the only like larger ceramic pot I have that has a hole at the bottom. I think it's got a stopper in it. Yeah, it's got a stopper which I can pull out. So that means it needs to be on a saucer, or I can just take this out when I water it. That's probably the move. Usually when I repot plants, I don't want to go super big on them. So this is about an inch bigger on like every side, including depth-wise a little bit, and it does look kind of cute in there. So I think this is what I'm going to do for this Friday. And I'm gonna actually cut some of these brown tips off with some sterile scissors so that the plant looks nice. First, I'll give it a little bit of a bath, and then I'll repot it because some of the leaves have a little bit of dust on them. So I'll just bathe it a little bit. If you like to look at roots, this is a fun thing for you. The roots look pretty healthy to me. I think it will be very happy in a larger container. One of the best things I can do if I'm stressed out or if I'm feeling sad is go ahead and take care of plants. Plants are so zen and relaxing, and taking care of them makes me feel like they can take care of me when I'm feeling down. So I repotted this guy, and then I very so carefully cut the brown tips off of the plant that had developed. Sometimes we can't give them all the humidity that they need. So I discovered that you can actually cut the brown tips and the sides off of the plant without hurting the plant. So you just need to make some very careful cuts with a pair of sterile scissors. So I'm learning a lot of stuff while I'm here social distancing at this time. And it's a great time to learn a new skill, which I'm happy once again to be partnering with Skillshare for today's video. Skillshare is an online learning community where millions come together to take the next step in their creative journey, with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people on topics including illustration, design, baking, and more. Skillshare offers classes designed for real life so you can move your creative journey forward without putting your life on hold. There are even classes on how to care for your plants. I recommend this Happy House Plants class taught by a botanist from The Sill, an amazing plant store in New York City and online. This class will teach you the basic houseplant care in less than an hour, and there's also a place where you can discuss your class projects with other students or ask the teacher a question, which I think is so cool. Skillshare is also incredibly affordable, especially when compared to pricey in-person classes and workshops, with an annual subscription being less than $10 a month. The first 500 people to join using the link in the description will get a 2-month trial of premium membership absolutely free so you can explore your creativity. Thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video and supporting creative entrepreneurs everywhere. Okay, I cut all of the brown edges off that I could without making it too not look like a plant, but I think she looks really good. I actually like her in this pot. I think she looks really good. It's the next day. I stopped taping, but I did finish all of my plant chores, and now everything is nice and clean. So I'll give you guys a tour of all of my houseplants and how they're doing. So this is the farthest away from the window. So we're just putting calatheas and plants that will tolerate low light here. So we've got my Calathea ornata here doing very well. It did have spider mites like several weeks ago, but it's thriving, it's bouncing back. And we've got my ZZ plant here, who I just recently repotted because it wasn't doing very well. And I looked at the root system and it looked like it had rotted a little bit. So I trimmed away all the bad roots and repotted her because it was in its nursery pot, so hopefully it'll do better now. Then we've got more calatheas. We've got my Calathea orbifolia. We've got this Calathea, I think this is called Rosie, Rosiopicta Rosie. And then we've got the Calathea rattlesnake, of course. I think this is also called, what's this called? Calathea lancifolia. I do believe the taxonomy on this plant has changed. I feel like it's Gerpertia now or something, but I will probably never stop calling it Calathea, so there's that. And then we've got my Calathea macoyana, or also known as like the peacock plant. I think that's the common name. I don't use common names for a lot of these plants because I find it to be confusing, because there's another plant called the rattlesnake plant. That's not that. So I try to use the Latin names most of the time just to not confuse myself. This plant does have some burns on the leaves from, I think, some fertilizer that I used by mistake, so I'm sorry, but otherwise she's thriving. We've got my Calathea medallion here. I think this is also called Rosiopicta. This also did have spider mites several weeks ago, but I think she's fine now. Down here we just have some little seedlings going. I should put a kind of humidity thing on those, but I haven't gotten around to it. And this is, well, this is Hypoestes phyllostaca, I think it's called, otherwise known as the polka dot plant. I was going to give up on this, like literally, because I don't know if the life cycle on these plants are very long. And I thought maybe it had pooped out. You know, they kind of poop out. But then I noticed it had developing some dots again on the leaves. So I'm just going to keep on plucking the tips and see if it gets fuller again. So I don't know. I've wanted to sort of give up on this plant for months now, but I think I'm gonna keep her going and see how she does. So on this shelf, I also keep my watering can. So in this can, I only keep distilled water for the calatheas and plants that don't like regular tap water. This is regular tap water that's sat out, and this is actually filled with distilled water also as well. This is my little sprayer. And down here, I just keep all of my plant keeping supplies. So we've got another watering can. I think I'm going to use this one outside mostly. And we've got some alcohol. Good luck finding this right now. This is a mix I used to kill spider mites. It's alcohol, water, and just soap. It works pretty well. It's pretty effective at killing spider mites. So you just have to be pretty persistent. You cannot like do this once and forget about it. You have to do it like 5 or 6 times. But you will kill spider mites if you're very persistent and consistent. So we've also got some neem oil there and some other neem oil. This is just a different brand, the 3-in-1. So this one has the soap. I don't think this one has the soap. Maybe it does. Who knows? I don't know. And then we've got my moisture meter here. I do have another one of these moisture meters, but this one is my favorite. Just some other bits and bobs in here, like some rooting powder and some organic fertilizer. That's the fertilizer that I'm using from now on because it's gentle and it's not going to burn the what out of my plants. Up here, we've just got a pothos and a Rhaphidophora tetrasperma that needs to climb on something and is absolutely insane. I do need to cut this one and maybe propagate it, but when I got it, it was way smaller. I think I might have a picture of it when I first got it. I might pop that on the screen, but it's out of control, basically. We have Ceropergia woodii, also known as string of hearts. She is very tangled. I don't know if I'm going to take the time to untangle it at any point. What's the point? It grows very well though, as you can see. It's just tangled, but it's so cute. Look at the little leaves. They look like hearts. How can you not love it? Back here, we've got Chlorophytum carmosum, I think it's called, or also known as spider plant. I think this variety is the curly spider plant, also known as Bonnie. She is doing very well. Whatever medium it came in, this is the grower's medium, because this plant is still in its nursery pot. Does not hold water very well. So I've noticed this winter especially, it's been dry, and I've watered it, and it just continues to not absorb water. So I had to soak it and then it absorbed the water. So I think I'm going to have to repot this in, I don't know, maybe a couple of months. I don't really want to repot it. I just might put it in another 4-inch pot with new medium. But we'll see. I think I don't know, she's doing pretty well. Got Dracaena Janet Craig here. Dracaena, I guess, compacta Janet Craig here, doing fine. This plant doesn't really do much. It kind of grows like one leaf, you know, every few months, and then like, you know, it just is. It's just cute. We've got a couple of asparagus ferns. This is, I forget which asparagus fern this is. It's also known as like foxtail fern. You have to keep on top of this watering, or else it just develops these brown needles and is messy. So you can see in this one as well, I pulled away, or I tried to pull away a lot of the brown needles, but you know, sometimes you can't help it. But this plant is so freaking cute. Look, it looks like a little fairy tree. How can you not love it? It's so adorable. So I really love those asparagus ferns. And then down here we've got, this one is an actual fern. These plants, even though they're referred to as ferns, asparagus ferns, they're not ferns. This is an actual fern. This is what is this? I want to say Crispy Wave is the variety. I want to think, someone gave this to me. So it's really cute. It just needs to be watered a lot. It doesn't like to dry out because it gets a lot of those brown tips. So I cut a bunch of those brown tips off, and now it looks really nice, and I repotted it. And we've got my, what is this? I forgot what it's called. Pilea peperomoides. There we go. I didn't need to look at the tag. This is also known as the pancake plant, UFO plant, friendship plant, Chinese money plant, and it's kind of a tricky plant. When I first got it, it was really small and compact and super cute, and then I noticed like a lot of the lower leaves falling off, and this becomes really barky. Because the stem used to look, you know, really green like that, but now it looks really barky, but it's doing okay. It develops these offshoots, these little babies, which is why it's called the friendship plant, because you can share it with your friends. You can just pull away those little babies and let them grow into big mama plants. So we've got a couple babies in there, but it's a cute plant. And then down here, oh, whoops, sorry, forgot about you. This is Scindapsus pictus. This is one of my favorite plants. She's just so special. Her leaves, you can't really tell on camera, but this silvery stuff is actually very sparkly. And I don't know how this plant does that, but it's beautiful. There are a couple of larger leaf versions, I think varieties of this plant that I really like Silvery Ann. I think there's one called Exotica that has like big leaves. I really want to get my hands on it, but I haven't really been plant shopping in a while. So, but it's definitely on my wish list. Down here we've got a couple of other little plants. We've got this Peperomia Puleolata, I think. Is that not? No, it's not called that anymore. It's called Peperomia tetragona. The taxonomy on this has changed as well, which I'm not really sure why that occurs, but whatever. It's the tiniest little plant. I think that I got this for like, I don't know, $3, but I think it's adorable. The little leaves have a weird like cardboard feel, which is very strange, and it doesn't grow very fast or very big, but I just think it's adorable. I mean, come on. I've got a little orchid back here. I'm not really an orchid keeper. Someone gave me this, so we'll see how she does. And then I've got my Schlumbergera truncata. This is also known as Thanksgiving cactus. So I just repotted this into a cute little terracotta pot. So we'll see how she does. And then down here, I've just got my pots. On the first windowsill, we've got a little Sansevieria. I think this is called like something punk, fern punk. Oh no, what's this called? I forgot. Anyway, it's a little like snake plant, and it's so cute. I got this from Marshall's. I couldn't believe I saw a real plant there. It came in this little container, and I was like, is that a real plant? And then I touched it, and I was like, what? And I took it home and nurtured it, and it won't stop growing. It's the cutest. I love it so much because it's just so wild. This, I'm not even sure what this is. I've had it for years. It's all like exfoliated and turning green, but it's fine. She's happy. Then we've got my little string of dolphins, which needs to be repotted and probably propagated because it's just gotten a little wild. You know what I mean? So the dolphins, well, it does still look like dolphins jumping out of the water, you can see there. But it just needs to be dealt with, which I will do on another day. We've got my little, what is this called? Haworthia. I think this is zebra Haworthia, but it's my only plant that's not in a container with a hole on the bottom. So I got this from Anthropologie. I just put them in, and the only, don't advise putting plants in containers without holes. What I have to do when I water this is I water it, and then I turn it over completely and empty all of the extra water that the soil did not absorb. So not ideal, but she's doing okay in there. I mean, it looks really cute. It's much bigger than it used to be, and it has these little babies that are growing in there. So there's a little baby right there. So she's doing great. This, I also don't know what this is, but it's pushing its little heads up against the window here. The leaves keep falling off and then keep growing into new plants. So I don't know. I'm just going to let her do her thing. It came in like one of those succulent mix baskets, and I separated it from whatever didn't survive, and this one is a trooper. I've got an aloe plant, which, if I'm going to be totally honest with you, isn't doing the best. Like, it's really not. But the pot is cute. I'm a sucker for you. I mean, come on. It's really cheesy, but I had to get it from Marshall's when I saw it there. The plant, I mean, it's doing okay. I'll pop it outside in summer and see if it does better out there. But you know, she's kind of just surviving, which is not really what you want. Over here in this windowsill, we've got some Hoyas. We've got Hoya carnosa Crimson Queen. So that's been doing nothing for the past, you know, Lord knows how long. Just looking pretty, not growing. These, I think they're just slow growers. I think that's just what they do. We've got a Ficus elastica, also known as a rubber plant here. This guy was doing absolutely nothing. I think I got it in December, so to be fair, I didn't get it during the growing season. However, it's just literally, I mean, it's a ficus, okay? It's just been dropping leaves. And I think I lost 4 or 5 leaves, you know, especially the ones closest to the soil, and like, you can see, and there was another like stem on this too, and it went away. It like died off. So there's like where one leaf fell off there, and it hasn't been growing. Like the little nubs like just came off. So I was real sad, but I guess I was just adjusting. And the other day I noticed, look, new growth. So that is very, 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 very exciting. So hopefully this is a good spot for it. I'm just going to leave it there and see how well it does in this window. And next to it, we've got a Hoya Weirii. This I saw at the plant shop and I couldn't pass it by. It's got some like little white like residue on it, I think from like the fertilizer or whatever they used at the grower. It's not mealybugs, don't worry, but I have to wipe that off or something. It's kind of gross, but I thought this plant was really cute, and it has some new growth on it, which is so awesome. This Hoya is growing. This Hoya is not. Over here, we've got the Monstera deliciosa, which is the Instagram plant that everyone has. I have repotted her. I've been waiting a year to repot it. So she's got a slightly bigger pot now, and I put it inside this little cute basket because that's cute. And I have to show you her newest leaf just came out. Look, it's fenestrated on one side and like has one split on the other side. So it's really cute. And I'm not gonna mess with it too much. We've got another leaf coming there as well. So she has woken up from her winter nap, and underneath we've got this is one of my favorites, I have to admit, is my red Maranta leucanora, also known as the official prayer plant, but they call all those calatheas in the Marantaceae family prayer plants, I guess. But if you don't know, they fold up their leaves at night and they move around all day. They're very, very cool. However, it's in the best pot ever from Anthropologie. You guys, I think they make a small one now too of this little lady, but it's my favorite plant. I love her. Over here, we have one of my newest Marantaceae family. I have a problem with these plants, of course, because I have all those calatheas over there. I got this guy, and now I have this. This is Sturmanthe Triostar, and I don't know if I can keep it from getting all the brown tips and stuff because these guys really love humidity, and it's way over here. However, can we just take a moment to how beautiful is this plant? Oh my goodness. Oh my God. It's in a nursery pot. Don't worry about it. Because I don't think these guys really benefit from being in terracotta, but she's stunning. Oh my gosh. Right next to it, I've got a little Sansevieria. I think this is Black Coral. I think that's the variety. I got this for $15 from IKEA, and she is beautiful. I went back the next week to IKEA and saw that Sansevierias didn't look nearly as good as this one. So, and I put her in this cool planter that looks like it cost $100 from West Elm, but only cost $20 from Marshall's. Now, it's cheap. It's like kind of plastic. Well, it's like metally, but like not really. And then these are like kind of cheap plastic, but it does look really nice next to the TV setup, console setup. So we love that little plant area too. Oh, and we can't forget about the little table decoration. This is Freddie. This is Calathea Freddie. She's also one of my favorites because she's not problematic. You know what I mean? Like she just grows and does stuff. And it's a really cute little plant. This plant, I think it's a hybrid, Calathea hybrid, so it doesn't move its leaves very much at all, but it's still cute. Then we've got a couple plants in the bedroom. We've got my anthurium. I don't remember what the proper name of this plant is called, but it is an anthurium, and it's got 2 flowers on it left from last summer. Hopefully, oh, this one looks like it's about to go, but hopefully there'll be some new growth soon. And she's really happy. She's been next to my bed for like a year now, and I really like it. Up there, we've got my philodendron burl marks. She just grows. That's all she does. And we've got our potential problem here, child here, the ivy or Hedera helix, I think they're called, but these plants are pest magnets. So it did have mealybugs at one point, but it's never had spider mites, which I think everyone says they all get. However, it never had spider mites. I really like this plant, and ooh, I keep kicking that. Even though it's like it had mealybugs at one point, I do love it. I love it. I don't think they make great houseplants because they attract so many pests, but it's really cute. And it's next to the philodendron burl marks, which I think can handle anything that gets thrown at it. So she's kind of isolated in her corner here. I have my little heart-leafed philodendron collection sort of next to my vanity. It's cute. This is philodendron micans, also known as the fuzzy philodendron. So it's got really fuzzy leaves and really beautiful red backs. Like, come on. Actually, I think this leaf is ready to go, but they do have like a red backed hue. And then we've got philodendron Brazil, which is really cool, variegated philodendron. Oh, we're going wild out here. And then we've got, this is my mom's plant that she let me have a cutting of when I came home last summer, and it's struggling, but it rooted, and we're getting some new growth on it. We've got a little new leaf coming right there. And this is philodendron lemon lime. This plant had a really hard time this winter, and all of a sudden it's doing better, and we've got some new growth on it, like new leaf points. So I hope she improves, but a lot of leaves fell off. And how cute are these pots? Oh my goodness. Okay, last 2. I've got a Peperomia argyria, also known as the watermelon peperomia. This peperomia is trouble. The leaves are really cute. They look like watermelons, right? But this leaf looks the best. But the rest of these leaves that are coming in look a little rough. Like, why are they shaped like that? Like, look at this one. And look at this one. I mean, they don't have to be perfect. It's, plants don't have to be perfect, but like they're coming in looking a little wonky. And last but not least, this is Oxalis, and she's crazy. Like this plant, when I got it, it was like nice and compact, but now it's stretching its little feet out and reaching for the sun, and it's kind of wild. But I love this plant because it looks like butterflies, doesn't it? Oh, it's so cute. Okay, so that's it for my spring 2020 plant tour. I hope this inspires you to take care of your plants. Give them a nice clean, give them a water, give them a repot, whatever they need. Let them take care of them so they can take care of you. All right, guys, I hope you're having a great morning, great evening, great afternoon, wherever you are, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.